Natural immunity means that someone gets infected with whether it's a virus, bacteria, and then develops antibodies, and there's more to the immune system than just antibodies. So it develops defense against reinfection from that, and I'll just say virus in the future. And so when people do get infected with COVID, unless they are severely immunocompromised, and those would be people actively on chemotherapy or on medication because they say had a kidney transplant, for the vast majority of people, they will develop antibodies and other components to then fight off reinfection. The issue with COVID is twofold. One, that when someone develops natural immunity, and this isn't just for COVID, but for all infections, that their natural immunity begins to diminish or wane over time. When we get repeatedly infected for viruses that circulate on a regular basis, we start to develop more long-term. But a one-time infection, there will be a natural waning of immunity. And the other, which has been particularly important over the last several months when the Delta variant has predominated and now is essentially causing 100% of infections in Maryland, is that for people who were infected with the original strain of COVID or with the UK variant, which then became known as the Alpha variant, that the antibodies don't latch on to the Delta variant as efficiently. So we have seen quite an appreciable number of people who were infected back in 2020 or in the earlier part, the first half of 2021, and then became reinfected when Delta came around.
Yeah, I think Dr. Polsky said it perfectly. We can't, at the population level, when you look at large groups of people, you can say natural immunity is likely to last at least a few months. There may be a fairly robust response, but there's such individual variation in that with natural immunity that your own personal immune system, your own personal health conditions, your own the strain that you dealt with in terms of your COVID infection is not necessarily going to protect you against the next COVID strain or whatever, the Delta strain or whatever strains are yet to come. And we don't quite know how long natural immunity will last. I mean, like I said, it varies quite a bit, but we have seen a lot of that decline in natural immunity happen around that 3-month mark. And so that's why, again, we do think natural infection affords protection, some protection, just like we think vaccines afford some protection, and we can get into all of that. But that is partly why they're recommending even people with some level of natural immunity or assumed natural immunity because they had prior COVID infection, go ahead and get vaccinated, because the vaccination process of teaching your body how to make antibodies and so forth to COVID, and the vaccine boost to your immunity essentially is one that really strengthens that immunity that you would have then to COVID and prepares us and prepares you for any future kind of strains that we may yet to deal with COVID.